So output redirection is very simple. It do simple task like taking the output from any command and giving it to file. That means it will take the output redirection do take the output from any command and give it forward this like redirect the output to any file. The file, that means if the file is there already, then it will put the output there in the file, and if the file is not there, then it will create a file for the output. So it is helpful when you want to have a record of commands output for future. Like you run some command, you get your output, and then you clear the screen and you forgot what output was. So what you can do, you can save those output in a file for future use or for future verification, or suppose you want to see what happens. So very simple, you can run any command and any command give you an output, any command. So what it will do, the output will by default go to the terminal. The terminal directly your standard out. Standard out is your terminal. So when you run any command, output goes on to terminal. So what we can do, we can redirect that output, not go to the terminal, and instead of that we can redirect it to file, so that we can see store the output in the file. So we can do it with this. After command we can give this redirection symbol, output redirection symbol, and then we can give the file name. Now remember, if the file name is already there, then it will not create the file, it will just override the file. Remember, it will override because you are giving only one symbol. So it will do what? It will override the file, it will remove the previous content, and it will add the content of the command output. Now if you don't want to override the output, the content of the file, then you will use two symbols. These two symbols do what? It will do the same thing, but it will not override the previous content of the file. Now if the file is not there, then it will create the new file. So we have tried this uptime command. Now there is a different option. There is an important thing when we run the command. Actually we did not, we not only we get the output of the command, we actually get two things. We get error and we get output. That means whenever you run any command, you get two kind of outputs. One is your normal output and second is your error. So by default behavior for the command is to put both the options, like both the output and error, both on the terminal. By default it sends both kind of output, like standard output and standard error, on terminal. But when we redirect the output by using this redirection symbol, it will redirect only standard output. It will not redirect. So whenever we redirect any output from the command to the file, it will only redirect normal standard output. It will not redirect error, standard error. For example, if I run this ls-z, this command is not there. This option is not there, actually z option. So when I run this, we got error. It says invalid option, invalid z option. Output is not there. We get only error. Now if I redirect this to any file, so because there is no output, error, it do what? Because there is no output, there is only error, so it does not forward the error in that file. In the file there is nothing. If we check the file, what is inside that file, that which I created here, so there is nothing in the file. Why there is nothing in the file? Because the command does not have any output, it has only error, and the error goes on to terminal by default. Because error can be important, so you have to see the error. So whenever you run any command, you should see the error. So it is showing the error on the terminal, and by default it is forwarding the command output to file. Now if I want to store error also in the file, that means suppose I run the command and I got the error. Maybe I am a normal user, I'm not an administrator, but I don't know about that error. So what I will do, I want to show this error to administrator. Now I got the error, I clear the screen, I forgot about the error. Now how I will explain to Mr. Administrator? So that reason, what I want to store that error in the file. But when I redirect any command, errors are not going into the file. So we can do this by using this. So these two things have a number. So number 1 is always a standard output, and number 2 is a standard error. So if you run a command and if you get error and you want to transfer the error into a file, then you will use number 2. And if you want to transfer only the output, then you will use number 1. For example, now I am going to run a command. That command has error and output both. That means a command which has error also and output also. Now you will say, how is it possible that one command give output also and error also? So actually we have seen this command already. First let me check this. I will log out with this user from here. Is it login here? Okay. Log out. Okay. So I'm going to run a command called find from the whole system, and I'm going to find the files related to user. And which user? This user. That means I'm going to search the file belongs to this user. Now when I run this command, okay, it gives me this output. This output is saying like there are lots of files. These all files are related to this user, and these are under the home directory of that user. So there are lots of files are there, and this is normal output. This is normal output. This is normal output. But there is an error also. Now where is the error? Here is the error. If you see this, these 4 lines are error. This error is saying no such a file or directory, no such a file or directory, no such a file or directory. The find command does not able to find these files. Now why these are not able to find? Because these are process files. If you can see, these files are under process directory. So this process directory has all the running process. So those process comes and goes. So sometimes they comes and they just finish their job and they just disappear. So when we run the command, those files was not there. So it is not able to find those files. So this says what? Error. It is showing me error that there is a file it is not able to find. So we have this 4-line error, and rest of the line we have all the command, all the output. Now if I want to transfer the output on the file, then I will give one redirection. Remember, 1 is your output and 2 is your error. Then I will say transfer it to this out.txt file. Now you see all the other things are gone into the file. Errors. When I run this command, so I transfer output only into this file. Now what it has done, it has transferred all the output of the command into this file, but the errors are on the terminal. These errors are on terminal. Now this is the default behavior if I don't give 1 also. If I don't give 1, still it will do the same thing. Now if you check the file out.txt, now you see in this file you have all the outputs, but you will not see the error because the errors are on terminal. So it is not having any error because those errors are on terminal. So where is the error? Error is on terminal. Now what I will do now, I will do again run the command. Now this time I will say to transfer. I will say redirect the number 2 output. Now remember, number 2 output is your error, standard error, and this I will transfer in error.txt. Now what it will do, it will give the normal output on the terminal, and the error it will transfer into this file. So when I say enter, now you see the normal output is on terminal. We can see the file which it has searched, but no error. Error is not there. On the terminal it is not showing error. It is not showing
Just a
error on the
second.
terminal, right?
Hello, sir. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just need to understand this error because is it the file you created or something different else? No, I don't understand it.
Which one?
The error you are talking about, is it the file you have created or
Remember what I
it
did?
means something else?
Wait, what command I did run?
Right now?
You check what command I am running.
No, it's not about the command. I just need to understand what it means. Is it a file or what is it?
So when I run this command, I said transfer number 2 output to the file. That number 2 is what? Error. So the number 1, that means normal output comes on the terminal, and in the file when you check this error.txt which we created, you can see those errors. Only error. So it is depending on you what you want, like you want to transfer the error or you want to transfer redirect only your output. So you want to redirect only output. So only output is here on number 1 and errors are on number 2. Now there is one more option. this one. Now this one asked by Faisal that day, yesterday, or I think day before yesterday. Now what happened here? N%. Now it will do what? As I name the file here all.txt. That means this n% will do what? It will redirect normal output and error both in the file. That means it will redirect both number 1 and number 2 in the file. So we can see here we are not seeing any error here, and we are not seeing any output also, because nothing is coming out on terminal. Everything is going on to the file. These things are important for scripting. So if you check the file now, this all file, so in this you have the output also, and you will get the error also. So both output and error goes into the file. Where is the error? It is here. So we are having the error and output both in the file. So this is for standard error and standard out. 1 is for standard out and 2 is for standard error. And if you give so by default only standard output will be redirect to the file and standard error will be to terminal. So now if you want to redirect output, or we can say standard output, to file, then you will give like this. I will give this command, find under slash my user, and then whatever the username you have, and redirect number 1 in a file name. So it will redirect what? Standard output. Now if you want to redirect standard error to file, then what we do? We use number 2. So it is number 2. And if you want to redirect both standard output and standard error, in file, then what we will do, we will use this %, symbol. So this is what to redirect your output of the command, and it is very important for us to do this. Okay, now one more thing I have seen in your script, that is called echo. This echo command is also we use. Now this is only for scripting. Mostly it is used in scripting. Normally we don't use this command. It is just like in C we do use printf or C out in C++. So it is just like that, this echo command. It do just print the text which you give. Like suppose I say echo, I say this is Linux. So what it will do, it will just print that line. It is just like that. मैं भूल गया, गरम कर देना बाद में. So it will do what? It will just print the lines which you have printed. Like it is just simple printf. And you can do what? You can add some commands with this also. Today is, like I will say, this is the date command. Oh, it is not showing that. Dollar date.
Brackets are missing.
Brackets. Ah.
So curly bracket should be there at the date.
Curly brackets.
After $sign and yes. No, sorry.
I think normal bracket.
Yeah. After $.
Okay. Programming error. So this is what it is actually a command. The date is actually a command. When you run this, it shows the date. Okay, I think I have not shown you this command also. Date command is to check the date and time. But there is another command now. This command is actually old. It is from old Linux, but because this is RHEL 7, we have a different command to see the date. So we will see that different command, but this one is also there to check the date. Now what I did here, I use this in this echo. With the echo is like doing printing those things, whatever you type there. Mostly we use it in this is scripting. We don't use it normally. In scripting we do create scripts, then we want to say we want to ask something about the person who's running the script. Like Faisal created the script, like he wants to transfer the file. So when you run the script, it will ask the user, do you wants to transfer the file, yes or no? So those things you will do what? By giving this echo, you will say like you want to run this or run that, like that. With the echo you can get run some commands also, like this. Like this you can add the command also, like here what it is that I said today is, this is the text I add, and with that I added this command output. So what it do, it combined this, it combined the text with that command, and it says today is, and then output of that command. So this is the echo, and it will call the variables. It is actually like a variable, it is using the command as a variable, it is calling the command as a variable. This dollar symbol is to call variables. For example, I will call the variable my machine name is, and dollar symbol, and variable is host name. Now here it is saying like my machine name is, and this is the variable output. So this is like a variable, and it calls the variable by using the dollar symbol. Now you can also create the variable, like I say uh, my name is equal to, now I created the variable, like this is my name is, this is the variable, and this is the value for the variable. Now I'm going to call the variable by using echo. Echo my name is, and then dollar, and the variable which I created here, my name. So it is using like this, my name is this. So this dollar is to call the variables. Now there are some predefined variables are already there which you can call by using echo command, and that one of that I called here host name. So there are some predefined variables like dollar, you can say pwd, it will show you the present working directory. Right now it is calling the present working directory. Echo, I can say old pwd. So it will show the previous working directory. I was on desktop before root. Then you can call the different variables. Echo mail, it is showing my mail path. I can say echo username, it is showing the username here. So now these are some variables, these are the variables which is predefined, these are already defined. Now we can use this, we can call these variables by using echo command. We can call these variables by using this echo commands. Now this thing, remember this is related to scripting, that means we use this in a scripting, we use to this call these variables, create these variables. So we used to call these variables, and we used to create also. So these are like in the programming, in the script when we create, so for the information, for getting information, to giving information to the user, we use this echo command. Now there is one more thing in echo, there is one more variable is there, and that is called exit status. That is called exit status. And that exit status is important, and it is important in a script. That exit status is this dollar and question mark. This is important, and this is important for script. It is called exit status. Now exit status is what? It defined that the previous command has run properly or not. That means, let's say the example, I run ls, the command successfully executed. Now when I mark,
इधर मत ठठका अरे बंद कर
now when I run this, ls command was run successfully. So when I run this, exit status is 0 because the command is successfully executed. Now when I run with this option, it is not there. I got error. That means command was not successful. So when I run this exit is when I check the exit status, now it is saying what? Number 2. Number 2, that means it is not 0. Remember, whenever it is not 0, that means command is not successfully executed. And if it is not successfully executed, that means there are some problem, there are some errors. So if it is 0, that means successfully executed previous command, and if it is not equal to 0, that means the previous command is not successfully executed. And this is what programmers, scripted, like who creating the script, they want to check this. Like for example, they want to execute one command, and if the command is successfully executed, then they want to do this command, and if it is not successfully executed, then they can run the other command. So what they did in the script, they run one command, and then what, they check the exit status by running this. If successful, then they can create the loop. Then they can say if the output is equal to 0, then do this, and if it is not equal to 0, then do this. So it's a good idea to use this exit status, and that is what you have used Faisal. This echo command is to print the text into on the terminal. Whatever you give to echo command, it will just print on terminal. Or we can say like text or variables. Oops. Variables. So this is just to print. For example, we can use echo, and then we can say, we can quote it, and most famous word in programming, hello world, and it will do what? It will print hello world on terminal. Also we can do echo, and we can call variable, and variables must be capital. let's say host name. So it will do what? It will print variable host name on terminal. Then this is important, echo. This is also actually a variable question mark, and it will do what? It will check exit status. Exit status if command runs successfully, then this exit status will be zero. I will say 0. Otherwise it will be not 0. Now it will be not 0 means it depends on the command, like what number it will show. Like it can also, it depends on the command that what kind of what number it will show apart from 0. Like we use ls to see the exit status, to check the exit status, and what it shows here, it shows 2. It shows 2 here. So it depends on the command. If you remember the man page of ls, if you go to the man page of ls, it explains there what is the exit status and what that means. If you check here in the man page of ls, here it shows what is its exit status, and it is saying 0 means okay and 1 means what? Minor problem. A minor problem, that means cannot access the subdirectory. That means if you list some directory, so main directory is accessible but the subdirectories are not accessible, so it will give you this exit status 1. Now 2 means what? If serious trouble, that means cannot access the command line argument. That means the argument which we gave was not available, was not right, or it is not proper. That means simply wrong option. So it will give you exit status 2. So it depends on the command that what kind of exit status you will get, but 0 means always correct. 0 means always okay, and 1 means minor, and major like serious problem will go on to 2. So this is what the exit status is about this echo command. And talking about the scripting, there are some more things, or we can use those things also in our command, normal day-to-day command also. That is called and or. In programming we use regularly, but in the command line, in some time like you're working on commands, so you can do also use that and or command. Like suppose you want to run 2 commands at the same time, then what you can do, you can use and sometime you want to run either, like either one command or second command, then you can use or. Remember, and means what? Both the commands must be true. That means both the command must be right. And or means either one of them must be right. For example, I want to run ls -l, and this is the output of that command. And same with this, I want to run this cat uptime also. So this is the output for this command. Now suppose I want to run both the command at the same time. So I will use ls hyphen l and then n 2 time n%, and 2 time n% means and then I will mention the second command. So it will do what? It will run both the command at the same time. You can see what it is doing here. It is running first ls command, this one. Okay, let me small the output. I will run only ls. Now you see it is doing what? It is first doing ls and then it is running this cat command. So it is running both at the same time. It is running both command at the same time. It is called AND. Now AND means what? It needs both command must be true. Other must be okay. Otherwise it will not run one of any of the command. If the first command goes wrong, then it will not run the second command also. For example, if I say ls and if I gave wrong option and I say end and then I say run this command. So what? Nothing. No command run because the first command is not right, so the second will also not run. Sometime what we do, we want to say like if the first command fail, then run the second command. Then what we do, we use OR, and for OR we use this two pipes. Remember the pipe, we use two pipes. So you will say like ls and I say pipe and then I run this command. Now remember both commands are right, no command is wrong. Now what it will do, it will run only the first command because I am saying OR. That means if the first command is right, then run the first command, not run the second command. But if the first command is wrong, then it will run the second command, OR. So if the first command goes wrong, for example Z, now first command is wrong, so it is giving error for the first command and it is running the second command. So AND means what? It will run both the commands, but if the first command fails, then it will not run the second command. And OR means it will run the first command, and if it is run, first command is successful, then it will not run the second command. But if the first command fails, then it will run the second command. This is AND and OR. So we have AND and OR option. Now AND means what? AND means we can use and OR to run two commands at the same time. Same time, but it will run one by one. Now when we use AND, so both commands run, but if first command fails, Then second command will not run. Now in OR, first command will run, or I can say only first command will run, but if first command fails, then second command will run. So we can use this and or feature or also. So how we can use it? For using and, ls like ls hyphen l and to and percent, and then you can use any other command. This and percent is for and condition, and if you want to use or, then it is what? ls hyphen l and two pipes. Remember, I am using ls and cat command because we have seen till now only these commands. We have not seen any other commands, but we can use any other command with this, and I'm going to use it when we are doing the lectures, we are doing these different topics. So sometime I'm going to use this also. So then you should not say like, what is this? Understand? You will not say like, what is this? We don't know about it. You should know about it. This is very helpful. So this is what and or also we have. Okay, now you remember the head and tail command. Head and file name shows the 10 lines from the beginning, and tail and file name shows the bottom 10 lines. And for seeing the middle lines, like in the middle you want to see some lines from some middle numbers, then I said you can use sed. Then you say I want to see the line from 200 to 205. So I said you can use this sed to do this. So it is showing 200 to 205. Now I told you that time that we can do this by using head and tail also. So we can do this by head and tail by using the pipe and logic. Whose mic is running? Justin, your mic is running. Justin, disable your mic.
Mr. Ataki, I'm requesting to have a look at the previous screen.
Yes.
The previous screen. That's why I put on my...
Okay, which one?
Not that one.
This one?
But the upper part.
This one? Okay, so I told you that we can use sed command to check file for line from the specific number like 200 to 205. But I told you that time that you can use head and tail also to do this. But I have not shown you that because it needs pipe. So with using the pipe and with using some logic, you can do this. Same, I want to see the line from 200 to 205. So what I will do here, see, first I will say head and I will say I want to see the line till hyphen n. I will say I want to see the line 200 and till 205 from this file. Now it is going to print, it is going to print what? Line till 205. Then I will do what? I will redirect it. I will redirect the output. I will use pipe and I will use now tail. Remember, you have to use your logic. Then here I will say n. Now this is the 205. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to see only 6 lines from the bottom. Now what you get? You get the same output from 200 to 205, and here also you get 200 to 205. But here I use the sed command. Here I use the sed command, and here I use head and tail. But what? By using this pipe and some logic. So by using some logic and the pipe, we can do anything. Remember, anything. There is lots of things you can do with pipe. So using some logic, you can do lots of things. So what I did here actually, first I said head to print 205 lines. So it printed till here 205. Then the output I redirected into tail command. And tail, I said I want to see the line from the bottom only 6 lines. So the output is till here 205. So I said 6, that means 205. So after that it goes for this is 1, 205, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6. So I said I want to see only 6 lines. So it shows me the 6 lines from the bottom. And bottom the output of this, bottom from the output of this command. So this is what these different things. Now